sorry. My Wi-Fi was cutting out. So I have a fan in here that was blowing on me because it can get quite warm. And I notice when I have that on, it interrupts me. So I'm just mixing my resin here. And I want it to pop on. What up, Teresa? Because day 2 of distance learning here. Ooh, it's warm. Might just be because we're distance learning. And it's like a really long day. Even though, hold on, I gotta get the hair off me. Even though it's only day 2, I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm just gonna play a little bit and kind of unwind. So I'm gonna play with some dispersion colors and quite possibly a little ink on the same cup. And I gotta remind myself to keep talking to you guys. Finn is showing me his ice cream. His ice cream? Finn? Hi, Christina. Is there something behind me? Finn is showing me his ice cream. Oh, Finn must be with you. Hi, Finn. Distance learning, distance learning. All right. So I don't know I don't even know what I'm doing. I just know I had to get out. And when I get, I create stuff to chillax. So I just mixed my resin here. And then I'm just using miscellaneous cups. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put however much in each cup. I'm gonna put a little resin for whatever colors I'm gonna use. For example, it's cutting me off. Inspire you. Let's see. I have the kids and they are eating ice cream. Hi, Finn. Ooh, what kind of ice cream? Like an ice cream cone? If it cuts me off again, I'll get up and go turn off the back fan and then I'll just be full on dripping. But who cares? At least I'm creating. Or is it, Finn, is it like a Spider-Man ice cream? Is it like a popsicle? Like a missile pop? Or is it like a cone with a scoop on it? Talk to me. Is it from McDonald's? Hi, Courtney. Oh no. Oh, Courtney, I'm so sorry. Oh, I could not even imagine. I hope he's okay. But then you have to be quarantined. Oh man, I will try to entertain you. I'm so sorry to hear that. That really stinks. Chocolate and confetti bowls. Boom. Oh, I like you, Finn. That sounds delicious. So I'm just gonna play. Okay. So in each of my little cups, I'm just gonna put, let's get a clean cup would be helpful. I'm gonna put like however much, and I'm guesstimating, however much of each color I'm gonna wanna use, okay? And I can always add more. So I always say, underpour your resin into your little cups. It's just my advice, I guess, because I feel like you can always add more, but there's nothing worse than being stuck with one of these little cups of resin and color in it that you just can't use. Let's see. Tell me about dispersion colors. He is doing good. We are hoping no one else in the house gets it. I could only imagine. I was gonna say, go check into a hotel, girl, but I don't even know if hotels are open. Use pink, dispersion colors. I was gonna use a little pink. Here's the deal. I'm trying to grasp the whole fall thing. See, my tank top today is like a dark mustard. So I'm trying to grasp the whole fall thing. It's very difficult for me to do. So I picked colors that for me are kind of fall-y. So if just one of the 5 colors I use has a fall feel to it, then boom, to me, it's full on winter. Might as well snow and we can open presents. So I'm definitely not a professional when it comes to, telling you exactly what specific products are for because I use so many different things. I just know how they work for me, and that's awful. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use this color. It's called Merlot. And dispersion colors, and you know what alcohol inks are. Dispersion colors are, that's it. It's like a drop and a half. They're basically, I don't know how to explain it. A heavy pigmented, it's like putting a heavy pigmented color in your resin. This one's called Merlot. So by me putting this into my resin, it's like I'm using tinted resin, right? Can you see how pretty that is? That's not my fall color. I'm going to use this one as my fall color. 3 little drops in that one. Let's see if I did enough. See the 3 little drops? Oh, I'm going to give it a mix. Em wants us to use pink. Isn't that pink? It's called Merlot, but it's like a, it's really, really pretty. It's like a, look. It's like a rose color. It's definitely in the pink family. Almost like a light magenta. Here's my fall color, unless we use some black. I'm starting to sweat. Look at how pretty this one is. Okay. Don't laugh, but I'm gonna use a tad bit of yellow. I don't know why, but when I was looking at the shelf, it jumped out at me and I grabbed it. It is very pretty. So I'm just gonna do like, I probably put too much in here. Like I can't even listen to my own advice. So this is like a really pretty yellow. Have y'all started distance learning yet? I don't, everybody's from somewhere different. Maybe you aren't going to. Today we're on day 2. And I think, I don't know if I have any white left. Let's see. I need to waste it. Okay, so I think I'm out of white. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's play with what I have and then we can always add. And then I have just a little bottle of ink off to the side in case I need it. Sorry, I'm old and I get hot and sweaty. So, I got my little doohickey here. It's not very clean, but I'm gonna sit up just a tad. Beep. So I can look over my cup here. Okay, so I am going to, this cup has just been primed, so it's just primed white. Oh good, so you have a while. So maybe things will, well, they'll get better or they'll get worse, right? Hopefully you start, hopefully things are good and you guys start. I'm just putting my little stickies over here. I am actually gonna start with this lighter color. And I have way too much yellow, but that's okay. It's just been cleaned and primed white because I wanted to prime it white. So as you know, a lot of times I start this stuff, I don't really know, I just go with the flow. So, oh man, getting hot. So here is that pink color. And I am gonna have to grab one more color. So I'm gonna just put some of this randomly on my cup. Okay. Yeah, these are like highly pigmented. I'm like the worst. I use them all the time. I'm just, Not thinking. Okay, so I just am putting it on here without giving it a whole lot of thought. It's beautiful. This is that really pretty Merlot color. No, it's not. This is the cranberry cocktail color. Uh-oh. I'm putting it on here. Now I'm just kind of putting it where, you know, where maybe that pink isn't so much. And not trying to cover the whole cup. I'm not trying to cover up the pink either. So I'm really just kind of filling in with this color where some of the white is. In other words, I'm not just going directly on top of that pink. Let's see, what'd you say, Lisa? It's like food color. You're right. And there's many products that are like that. There are many products that do that. But this particular one that I'm using just happens to be the best, in my opinion. And I sure would hate to short sell it by not telling you all the wonderful things about it, but I know it's highly pigmented, so it covers very well. Ooh, do I have a mustache of sweat yet? I am going to grab one more color though, because I'm going to show you something that I do sometimes. Let's retry this yellow. All right. And I'm sort of just spreading it around on here. So this is exactly like how I would do. This is how I would paint on a canvas. If I was painting on a canvas, I would do the same thing, you know, to a certain extent. In other words, I just am going with the flow. It's not that I'm not putting any thought into it. I just don't overthink it. And I just choose colors that Facebook's cutting me. Okay. It does. It's really pretty. Can you see it good? I'm going to drizzle some of this yellow on before I heat it. Okay? And you're probably thinking yellow, ooh. Here's another little tip, if anybody's curious. The longer I let my resin sit in its cup off to the side, the thicker that it gets over time, depending on what resin you're using. So, I've said this before, it's been sitting here since I started this, so however long I've been on. And it's a little thicker just in the amount of time it's been sitting there. It's almost getting like a taffy. It's not any kind of fast setting resin or anything like that. It's just normal resin. It's getting like a taffy feel to it. So I love to use this when it gets to this point to do thin, what I call veins. So I'll kind of let it drip like this, and then I can go over my cup and lay down what I call them veins. You see? It's just like little streaks of color. So whatever color you're choosing. I tend to do veins with like a pop of color. So I figured with these two colors, yellow would be good. So I'm kind of letting it string along until I'm comfortable enough to string something on my cup here. See? When it stops stringing, I'll get a little more. You can kind of make a design. It's going to move a little bit, especially because I'm going to heat it up. Man, I'm sweating. Whew. So it's getting pretty thick. Gotta kind of get this going. So I'm gonna put some here. Tapping it on. See how it's stringy? Ooh. Get off. Get off. Okay, I'm gonna heat it really quick just so it doesn't, so I can kind of move it a little bit. Let me put my hair up. So I'm gonna do a couple more, not today, but I'll do more cups with this stuff so you can kind of get a little more familiar with it. You can do it in layers if you want, just like anything else that you do on cups. If I'm not making sense, just say, "You ain't making sense, lady, what are you talking about?" I kind of did want another color. I'm gonna grab, I can't believe I'm out of white. So I'm just sort of spreading this around a little bit. So this is just the first layer. That's the other thing. Not heavily concerned about just the first layer because I know I'm gonna go back and do another layer, at least another one more. I'm just tapping very lightly. I call it happy taps. Anywhere that looks like maybe the resin didn't go to. See? Did I lose you? Is anybody there? So look, there's hardly any pressure, and I'm just, because I see little like white exposed areas of the cup that maybe didn't get enough coverage. So I'm kind of, by tapping it like this, it is helping to spread it out to those areas that maybe didn't get the best coverage. That's all I'm doing. The yellow's really pretty. I'm glad I did that one. So like right here. It's sort of like I'm tapping it and I'm moving it. So I love doing that veining thing. Hey Courtney, you haven't fallen asleep yet? But I am literally sweating. Okay, I'm gonna do, so as it's spinning, you'll see that the yellow is going to, it's gonna move, but I didn't heat it up a whole lot. So it's not gonna move in the sense like it's gonna move like if it was alcohol inks. It's just gonna move a little bit. Let me hold it up to give it a bit of a fanned out look. You might even get a little bit of cells in there. Well, I can already see them. You see? The lighting, let's see. Tell me, there you go. So when this yellow comes around right here, right in here, you can see that there's like, those aren't bubbles. Facebook. Every time it glitches like that, I'll stop talking. So, and then look at this pink, this reddish pink that's coming around. You see the cells kind of forming in there. So that's always fun. Now I can go back with any other colors that I want. But for today's experiment, can you see? Schooling is driving me crazy. It's literally. And our teachers are amazing. Amazing. But it's only day 2. So, you know, there's a lot of things that have to be worked out, a lot of kinks. See, I'm just trying to get it off. Okay. This is where I'm going to experiment. I'm going to just drop some ink and do what I call a swipe. I have to get this hair off my neck, but I can't touch myself. Ooh, Lisa, that would be pretty. Oh, I'm not taking classes. I just have 3 kids here that are doing distance learning. So, yeah. Need I say more? So, where I'm at in California, we started the good old-fashioned distance learning. It does look floral. You know what? I paint a lot of florals. Thus, that one. So it doesn't surprise me that things tend to go to those colors, unless I'm specifically doing one for somebody that has colors that they want. But I'm going to experiment with this. Okay, so you probably haven't started yet. So swiping is a technique that is used in a lot of different art techniques. I do them in a lot of different things. Pours, a lot of things. Like swiper, no, swiping. So, I'm gonna try it on here. What you wanna do is take a bottle of tequila. I wish, it's not Friday. Not Friday yet. I'm just gonna use a good old-fashioned popsicle stick. You know what, I'm gonna grab a larger one. Popsicle stick, I mean. This big old bad boy. Okay. And it's going towards you. So let me just do this, and then if it doesn't work, I won't be wasting everybody's time. I'm gonna do it like this. Just a couple drops because the inks seem to go far. And I'm going to drag it. I'm not gonna see the results until it gets back to me. There's hardly any pressure, but I'm dragging it or swiping it, as they say. I'm gonna go kind of back and forth, just to I'm sort of moving it. Let me come up here with it. So it's all gathering behind my popsicle stick right now, and I'm basically just sort of moving it. It's like a build-up. The resin is building up because I'm swiping it, right? See? So now I can play if there's somewhere. I'm gonna clean off my stick. And then I have some, hi Gigi. I have some just plain resin here. And I'm going to swipe a little bit with nothing on my stick, except resin. Because I saw one area. Now I could swipe with silver or gold. This is just the resin, plain resin, and I'm got it on here and I'm swiping. This is swiping right here. Maybe I should try to turn my camera so you can see from my angle. So I'm just holding it. It's just to kind of move it. There's got to be, I bet I could find a better tool. So you can imagine, like, if you were doing this, maybe there's other colors that you'd like to use if these aren't really like your thing. These colors. Yes, I'll save it, Gigi, so you can kind of watch it and catch up. But we're sort of just playing and experimenting. I mean, I've done, hold on, it's sticking. Now watch, this could go really bad. Look at how long, so my time is probably up with this. Looks like slime, huh? I'm kind of afraid to use it. I don't think I'm going to. Well, screw it. Yay. This. Swiping. I hope this isn't too confusing. I'm not trying to confuse you. I'll tell you something, Gigi. The best and the most famous artists discovered their form of art through experimentation. It's the truth. So I'm gonna kind of deep. So you see how we got the black? Okay, I'm gonna heat it really quick because I see some bubbles. And I think I'm gonna use this again. If I had white, I'd probably swipe with some white. I'm just out of white. Oh man, there's so many techniques I could show you. So look at the cells that are coming. Hello. See down here? Damn light. Where's the light? Can you see those cells right there down towards the bottom? Where's the light? Just awful, god awful in here. They're right here. Right there. But I also think, see, it has like so many different levels of dimension to it, and that's just one layer. So maybe in the next layer, I might do some glitter, or kind of has a fiery effect to it. I really like it. The nurse shit is not for the birds. Where would we be without nurses? I would be dead. First of all, I've been in the hospital so many times that I thank you for being a nurse. Nurses are, I don't even know if I ever met the doctors that were taking care of me. It was always the nurses. They do everything. So, my sticks are all stuck to the ground. So this is swiping. Swiping! You can swipe with mica. I'm just doing this because I'm a maniac and I can't stop. And I don't want to go yet because there's children in there that need things. I don't have any. Let's try this. I don't want to go back in there yet. Don't leave me. Hi, Christina. Yeah, Christina, you too. I've been in the hospital. It's been probably 3 years since I've been in the hospital, but I used to get like pneumonia a lot. Not a lot, but like once every 18 months it seemed like. And so I would go in the hospital for weeks at a time. And sometimes I remember like a couple times I just put a little blue in here. Because I think the blue is going to make that yellow turn kind of greeny. Anyways, like I was saying, I remember swiping. A doctor would come in and give me directions, and I'd be looking around like, where the hell's my nurse? Who is this person coming in here and telling me what to do? Where's my nurse? Like, where's the people who have been literally taking care of me? You know? I mean, when I press the button, it's not the doctor that comes running in. It's those sweet nurses, men and women. So, it's pretty. Swiping. That's what we call it. That's what I'm calling it. Boom. I'm gonna hit it with my gun, my torch. Oh, oh man, I'm sweaty and the boob sweat's starting up. Okay, I'm gonna torch it really quickly just because I like how it looks. Hey, doctors are fabulous too, don't get me wrong. Now I'm gonna just tilt it because I'm a crazy maniac. No, doctors are fabulous, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't want to hear nurses thinking that their jobs are not, I know nurses feel undervalued. And quite frankly, I wouldn't go to the hospital if the nurses weren't there. Just saying. Because they literally do it all. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Look at how pretty. Come on, light. Can you see? Doctors are okay. Man, I don't think I can even show you in this light. Where's this light coming from? It's gorgeous. And look at, that didn't take very long. Thank you. Doctors are, ER doctors. Well, ER nurses. Woo! ICU nurses, holla. Pediatric nurses, I bow to you. And any nurse, I mean, I just don't know how you guys do it. You're geniuses. This is amazing. So, just like swiping when you do an acrylic pour is what we did here, but we used the resin. That's how I got cells. Okay, so when I say cells, it's like where the yellow's popping through that black right there. Or up here. Okay? Is that easy? I didn't worry about the bottom because I put my little doohickey down there. See where the yellow's coming through the black down there? Those are cells. And up here where the cells are coming through, it's almost got like a peacock. It's amazing. You have been an ER nurse for 10 years? I'll tell you, there have been times where I have been in the hospital and I will get like admitted through the ER and then I'm like up in my room or whatever, and they'll come in to do like a procedure and I request for an ER nurse because the ICU nurses, there's not very many. I mean, depending on what hospital you're at, but I know that all nurses are totally overwhelmed. But the hospital that I go to when I've had issues with pneumonia, I always request for a ICU nurse to come and do almost all the procedures, because just putting an IV in me is a nightmare, and I will get stuck like 8 times. I forget what the protocol is, but one nurse can only stick you so many times. Yeah, well, I've had like 3 or 4 nurses come in, hit their maximum, and then I'm like, you know what? So ever since then, I'm like, please just get an ER nurse first so I don't have to get stuck 30 times. Gorgeous. All right, I've been on for 32 minutes. That's awesome. I love the green and the yellow, how they're running together. This is fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna do another one of these later. Hopefully after these guys get done with their schooling, I'm gonna fix a big old cocktail and come out here and play and do some more stuff. It's been like 3 or 4 years, and it's because of a immune disease basically that I have. It just makes me very susceptible to getting sick. So like a common cold for me, like if you have a cold and I get a cold, the cold's going to be much worse for me. I just have a really weak immune system. Who cares? I'm fine. Ooh, I'm going to tell you what, Heather, I am on day 2 of distance learning, and I'm probably going to forget the water on purpose. I might just have a straight bottle of vodka. I'm just going to tell you right now. It's going to be a straight bottle of vodka with a big old straw. I know they make, I'm going to tape a bunch of straws together and have them coming out of my jug of vodka. But that won't be until after 9 o'clock. But I'm a grown up and I can do that kind of stuff. Let's see. My daughter has super deep veins. Oh, so the same thing happens. Yep. We have a specialist do it. Yes. My veins, they're really tiny and they roll. So they always, what are they, not pop, but blow. They either blow, so then I'm like, I mean, when I have to go like get blood work done for some reason, I will leave there with like 50, well, not 50, but I've left with 10 or 12, either Band-Aids, or oftentimes they'll just like wrap your arm in that. So, yeah, no, I haven't been sick in 3 or 4 years. So, because we figured out why, and now I don't do that anymore, so I'm better. I mean, I still have my autoimmune disease thing, but I haven't had any issues for several years. Oh, Diane, you're gonna have to watch from the beginning, my love. They do. They can only, because they can only stick you. Trust me. I mean, sometimes I'm like, just put it, I'd let them put it in my butt to get the blood that they need the first time than getting stuck as many times as I have to get stuck. But I know they're doing the best that they can, and oftentimes they get very offended when you request a specialist or an ICU nurse, because it's like just going, hey, I know you can't do it, and it's nothing personal against the nurse that's trying to do it. It's just, I know my body and I know my veins, and I really don't like doing that, and they get very offended and they don't like to do that. So I always request it straight ahead. I always say, here's the deal. I promise I'm not going to kick you or hit you, but if you don't get an ICU nurse in here to draw my blood or to get my IV in, some expletives might come out. So 8 times out of 10, they will. Sometimes they don't. They have to try themselves. Whatever. I totally get it. And I feel bad. But anyways, who cares about that? But yes, they go in from one arm after the other. Diane, I only used resin. I used resin and dispersion colors and ink, and I got that. We did a technique called swiping, which is, you guys probably do that. That's the hard thing about coming in here, is I don't know like what everybody does. I swipe on, tried to kick me out again. So swiping is when I hold something, depending on what I'm doing, and I will swipe over the surface of something, or in this case, I held my popsicle stick as the cup was turning. Basically what I do is I'm just bringing the artwork that I do on all kinds of crap, and I'm just doing it on a cup. And I just want to show you guys. So, oh yeah, no, I understand, Diane. I know. I just am babbling because I've got 3 kids in there that are distance learning, and I don't want to go back in there. Don't make me go back in there. So yeah, that's all we did. And we kind of talked about choosing a color like as a pop of color, you know, like if these aren't the colors you want to use. That's kind of all we just went over. And then I did the whole swiping thing. So the next time I do this, which will maybe it'll be tonight if you guys want me to, I'm going to move my camera so that you can see like a side angle and see what's happening on the back side of my popsicle stick that you can't see, because I'm holding my popsicle stick like this, so you can't see what's happening over here. So maybe if I move the camera to where you can get a side angle, then you can see. And I can also show you swiping on different surfaces if you want, so that you can kind of get a feel for it. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Don't swipe the shit out of everything, but you will. And then I'm going to show you some other stuff, and you're going to do that too. Swiping is amazing. Swiper, no swiping. It's, you know what, Gigi, just take it all in stride. I don't know how old your child is, but we're only on day 2, and I'm just like, my youngest is in 1st grade, and he started getting a little bit upset today because he got a little confused on things, and I'm just like, you know what, buddy, we're just gonna take this in stride, and you know, we are gonna do things kind of at our own pace and not get stressed out about it. At 6 years old, you should not be getting stressed out about this stuff. So we just kind of, my other 2 are a little bit older, so I just try not to, it's just hard. It's just not a fun situation. Oh, Gigi, my Lord. That's, yeah, I feel for you. I absolutely feel for you. And he probably hasn't had anybody reach out and offer any help. I can only imagine. At least that's what's going on here. And it's not right. So, but hopefully we'll get through this crap. So I feel for you. I absolutely feel for you. Now go swipe the shit out of stuff and show me what you did. Okay? Choose like 3 colors, 1 pop of color, and well, put 3 colors down and swipe with your 4th color, something that's gonna be a pop of color. Swipe the shit out of it and show us. Okay? I'm gonna go in there because I hear people walking around, which they probably shouldn't be doing, and I'm gonna go swipe the shit out of them. Bye guys. Thanks for letting me talk and ramble. I appreciate you all.